Well, hello again. This is getting to be a routine. The OhioRAAM show coming to you from Southwest Ohio, sponsored by Time Stations 41 at Oxford and 42 at Blanchester. I almost forgot where they were at there for a minute. Not going to say a lot about them, but except for the fact that it's a great place to come and see the race. And if you want to know when they're coming through there, you just go back on the OhioRAAMshow.com website, click on show 87 with Vic Armajo, and he will explain to you just how to figure out when someone's coming through your time station. But we're happy to say that there's another great place to watch the race where you'll find people who know what's going on, can help you understand. And that's the brand new time station at Flagstaff, Arizona, time station number 9. And we have with us this evening P J Lingley from, well, I don't know where you're from. Are you from Flagstaff, PJ?
I am from Flagstaff, yes, sir.
And PJ, you're a firefighter, as I recall.
Yes, sir. I work in Sedona, which is just a little south of here, and I live in Flagstaff.
And let's just mention the fact that I know last year you had you had some memorial for some of your friends that were lost in that Yarnell fire. Did you not?
Yes, sir. Yeah, 19 of the Granite Mountain crew died in the fire, and they were pretty close friends of mine, so pretty close to home.
Well, we take a moment to think about them and their families and the loss they've suffered, and I'm sure everybody appreciates the work you people do. I appreciate what they do around here, but you guys that go out and fight these forest fires, I really got to hand it to you folks for your efforts. And before we get any farther, PJ, just let me say that my name's Lee Kreider, hosting the show. We're in our and so we're really excited about moving ahead. PJ, first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. You are a RAM veteran, raw veteran. A little bit about that, other than the fact you're a firefighter, that you're a cycling background.
Sure. Yeah, other than I did RAM last year, and I didn't make it. I made it all the way to Bloomington, Indiana, before a torn quad muscle, pardon the pun, but hamstrung me. And 2 years before, I did race across the West, and I was finished second place in the Open. Had a great race. And before that, most of my career, I've been a cyclist. You can talk to my parents back into my single-digit ages. I was racing anything with 2 wheels on it, and I did my first century when I was 12 years old. First competitive century when I was 12 years old, and haven't looked back. Just the distances keep getting further and further.
Great. So this year you're going to be managing a time station there in Flagstaff. Hey, I was through Flagstaff last year on the train. We took a Amtrak trip, loved it. I tell you, that was really great. The food was wonderful. The staff was incredible. You don't want to be in a hurry.
Mm-mm.
But of course, I think we went through Flagstaff in the dark both times, coming and going.
Yes, yeah. So if I remember right, the Amtrak, it actually starts in California, comes through Flagstaff, and goes all the way to Chicago, Illinois, on the main route here. And that's a great way to see the country if you ever get a chance. And it
sure is, and I'd highly recommend it. It's expensive, yeah, but a cruise ship's expensive too. And I think this is a heck of a lot more fun. Met some nice people, and like I said, the food was wonderful. The accommodations were great. I just can't say enough about it. I wish there were more services like that around. Well, I've digressed enough, PJ. Let's get on with Flagstaff. What do you got to offer us there when we get the Flagstaff? Other than, well, let's talk about some of your helpers there first. Let's sure. Who you got working for you.
So I'm just one of the minions. The official time station manager is actually my wife. She's my crew chief as well. That's Colleen Lingley. She's going to be staffing everything. She's been running like crazy the last couple months, getting everything together. So she's running everything. We've got another helper, Vicky Burton. She's been getting all the contacts with the getting all the leases in place and all the insurance, and she's actually running the charity that we're helping raise money for. So it works out really well. We've got a few other folks from some of the riding clubs in town, Red Rock Racing. We've got iBike Flagstaff, which is coming out. And we've got a few folks coming out from the county, Coconino County, going to come help us out, as well as Flagstaff PD has got some stuff set up for us in town, not necessarily the time station, but they've got some signage up for us. And the university, Northern Arizona University, is helping us out with some additional signage as well.
Well, wow, it sounds like you guys are starting off with a bang there.
We're trying to.
You know, I was talking to the Ashwells, who are starting a new time station at Fort Scott, Kansas, and they're very new at this. And I told them it takes time sometimes to get these things going, but it looks like you're getting started there with a rush and got some good support, have you?
We do. We're a little lucky because Flagstaff's a city of about 70,000 people, plus another 30 to 40,000 of students. So we're fairly decent size. The other benefit is having raced RAM and my wife having crewed for multiple ultra events. We kind of have an idea of what to set up and what the racers and what the crew are looking for. So we've got a leg up to start with.
Well, you sent me an email with all kinds of services here, but let's go over and see what the racers and crews and staff and media people, officials can find when they get there. What kind of help have you got to offer them in terms of food, fuel, what have you?
Sure. So first and foremost, at the time station, which is probably the most critical because that's where everyone's going to come through, we're going to have food being served 24/7. We've got pizza donated. We've got breakfast burritos. We've got Coca-Cola products have been donated. We've got Cliff Bars, Rice Krispie treats, cookies. All the the junk food to keep the crews going is all there, as well as anything the racers need. We're going to have in place, and that's going to be served 24/7. The other nice thing that we do have is we actually have a porta potty on site. So in case you're there after hours and need a facility, we're going to have one there at the time station, so you don't have to chase one down. So that's going to be at the time station. We also have a bike stand. We're going to have tools, and we're actually going to have a mechanic on duty for all of the riders as they come through. So if any of the crews come through and need some specific stuff, we're going to be able to help them out at the time station. Additionally, because of the size of Flagstaff, we have numerous fuel stops available. Gas, diesel is plentiful. It's not really a problem. Just north of the time station on the race route, about 1/10 of a mile, there's 3 stations. They all have good RV access, gas and diesel, so there shouldn't be any issues there. And then as far as food goes, Flagstaff being a college town, there's numerous 24-hour food stops, all being fast food. But where the time station is actually at, there's a Safeway grocery store, which is open till midnight local time. It opens at 5 a.m. local time, as well as a McDonald's right there on site. And they're open, I believe they open at 4 a.m. local time and close at midnight. So we've got quite a few of the basics. And then when we start looking for the crew stuff, we've got RV dump facilities in town. One of them is actually right across the street from the time station. So that's a really nice touch. It's a short run. They also have laundry and showers available there. It's at the KOA. It's right across the way. We'll be happy to point anybody in the right direction. As well as we have a few bike shops in town that are helping us out. We've got a few of their mechanics and their shop managers actually on call, so that if anybody needs anything after hours, they can open the shop and help us out.
Well, it certainly sounds like you've tried to cover all the bases there, PJ. And your wife isn't handy there, is she? Close by at all?
She's chasing a 3-year-old right now.
Oh, okay. Well, she's got her hands exposed.
Yeah. She's losing. She's an elite level runner, and she gets outrun by the 3-year-old frequently.
Yeah, I understand that. That's been quite a few years since I had to chase a 3-year-old, but I got a 4-year-old dog, and it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, it sounds like you got a great thing going there, PJ. And, you know, I'm not going to take any more time here. We'll keep this short and get this up because I know that people who are out there in Oceanside gathering even as we speak, and I'd say good many of them are already there. The teams are on their way there. They don't want to take a lot of time to hear about that, but we hope that everybody is going to at least give a wave as you go by. And if you can, stop in. I think that's one of the great things about these time stations. You get to talk to, I always tell people, even if there's not a racer coming through, there's almost always somebody, a crew or an official or somebody hanging around there. And when they aren't, there's always some cyclist around there telling war stories of how bad it was way back when, how tough we had it.
Absolutely. So I forgot to mention there's two other things that we're doing. A couple of the local cycling clubs. Flagstaff is notorious for getting people lost in town. You can't get too lost because every road kind of leads in the right direction. But there's a lot of turns and little twists. And so what some of the cycling clubs are doing this year is they're going to meet a lot of the racers as they come in and escort them to specific turns. So that'll be a really nice touch that we're trying to get out to the crews and racers. The last one is at the time station. We're actually going to have Tractalis up on a big board so everyone can see what's going on without having to check it on their phone. Or, for those of us with that don't have great vision, they'll be able to see it on something a little bigger. So that'll be available at the time station.
Okay, well that's really great, PJ, and we're glad to have you with us. We tried to get you. I think we made some contact last year, and I don't know, things just didn't click. That happens sometimes, and we're glad to get you on this year, and star of television, network television as well. I remember seeing you on what was that? 20? Was it 2020? I don't know what, one of those shows. But that's so great. Thanks a lot, PJ. And we, after mentioning all the things you got there, I have a feeling I'd like to come out there and visit with you, but that probably not going to happen. Maybe some other time. So,
well, we're looking for staffers next year because I'll be racing next year, so we're going to have some additional staffers at the time station.
Okay. Well, great. So you know where to find them, and it's if you want to see the race, these staff time stations is the place to do it because, especially if you just got some kind of interest in it, you've heard about it, there'll be people there that can explain to you what the heck's going on, and they'll have up-to-date information. And so that's a really a great place to see the race. And, I got the looking, PJ. I was guessing that there's probably well over 100 million people in the United States. They're within a few hours driving distance of some part of the race across America.
Oh, absolutely.
If you take in the major cities, it goes close by and all that. So there's no reason why. And I think these staff time stations really help get the word out a lot.
Yes.
So thank you again. Let's get back. See, I've tried to close this down twice now. Let's see if I can get it done. This time, this is the OhioRAAM show, and we've had PJ on here this evening from Time Station 9 at Flagstaff, Arizona. And we want to say that we will have a link to the Time Station 9's Facebook page on the show notes, which will appear right below the video here. If you're watching it on the OhioRAAMshow.com website, right underneath the video, you'll see a link to the Time Station 9's Facebook page, and we'd invite you to drop in there and like that page and say hello. If you're watching it on YouTube, or if you're watching on one of the several sites that embed our playlist, we thank you for those who do that. You'll have to go to OhioRAAMshow.com website to find those links, but they'll be there. Thanks again, PJ, for being with us, and thank all of you for watching. I got to get to bed here and get some sleep because I know I'm going to lose a lot of sleep this next couple of weeks. So Thanks again, everyone, for being with us.